about black, Latino, and Native American. When the Lord says that our kingdom is to come, as long as we follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
I got the camera bag, I'm the cameraman. If shit getting active, I'ma stand it down. We taking ground, call the ambulance. That shit go right, left, right, left. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go. If you got a problem, we'll handle it. Niggas acting hard, you better stand on it. We on every corner, we stamping it. You better get your life for this camp shit. We ain't playing around, there's no cowards, dog. If niggas charged up, you get powered off. Rude of speech, keep it raw. It ain't my fault that you niggas soft. It ain't my fault that these niggas frauds. It ain't my fault that them niggas rats. If your colors fly, you don't get that shit go. Right, left, right, left, right. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go left, right, right. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go.
When I go to war, gotta hop into the van. Tryna cut the scene of something you don't understand. Getting checked from my betterment, better take it like a man. Nigga, how you walk away for camp? If you willing to die, you better be willing to stand. Take a trip around the world, see a bunch of corners held by them UPK niggas. All them UPK niggas go to camp. And I'm on Shamar here hanging out the car window when I pull up straight to the battlefield. And I'ma make sure niggas make it back home. Say, nigga, what you thought? When anything moving, I be on. Gotta remind them we nothing like them niggas that you saw. If you hear back up, that'll be your last time to get out the way. The price to pay before.
That shit go.
Nah, for real though.
If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go left.
Nah, for real though.
If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that.
How about some y'all talk right stuff? Move that song. Move that song. Move that song. The Father we fear. The Father we fear. Yahweh. Israel. Israel. Israel.
And you know, some of the words that he taught them were like the 10 Commandments or the 10 words. That's what they're also called. He's reviewing the statues. Well, do I need to go back, Officer Corral? Okay. All right. Well, let's do it again. All right. Shalom. Yahweh Shabbat to all the Akim out there. Yahweh Shemal and Thun by Hashem Yahweh Shai. We are in the book of Deuteronomy today. We were just having some sound difficulty, technical difficulties. The water for Officer Corral for fixing that. And what we are doing is we are reviewing the book of Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy is also called the words in Hebrew because it's reviewing the words that the words which consist of the covenant that Moses taught the children of Israel when they first came into the wilderness. Now they're about to go into the land of somebody. About to go into the land of Canaan and cross over the river of Jordan. There we go. They're about to cross over to the river Jordan. Okay. And before they cross over, Moses is now reviewing everything. Okay. He's going over everything to make sure they have it. One of the reasons is because the Most High told Moses, these people are going to go in the land and they are going to reject me. You know, it's almost like the parent keep telling the child, all right, now you go in here, you know, and the child's like, I got it. Okay. But they know, because you know your child, you know, parents know their children. Okay. You know your child. When you get in here, you're going to be a certain way and you have a certain attitude. So, well, let's go ahead and read that again. We're reading in Deuteronomy 9. I'll read it in the Hebrew and then the English. And then also I'll take in the English. Deuteronomy chapter 10, like I said now. Chapter 10, 9 through 15 in the Hebrew. Al, Khan, La'ah, Haya, La Loya, Kalak, Wana Kala, Aim, Akiwa, Yahweh, Hawa'a, Nakalafya, Ashar, Dabar, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Lawa. Verse 10. Anakia, Imadathya, Salakia, Imad Faya, Bahar, Kayamyam, Ashanyam, Arabayam, Yawam, Wa Arabayam, Layala, Wa Shamai, Yahweh, Olya, Gum, Bapa'aim, Hawa, La'a, Abba, Yahweh, Kashak, Yafka. Verse 11. Wayamar, Yahweh, Olya, Hawam, Lak, Lamasai, Lapanya, Ha'ain, Wayaba'a, Wayarashwa, Ha'aratiza, Ashar, Neshabai, Faya, La Abatham, La Thaf, Laham. Verse 12. Wa'aitha, Yasha'ala, Ma, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Sha'al, Ma'aimak, Kaya, Layara, Af, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Lala, Kaf, Bakal, Darakyua, Haba, Aswa, Wala Aibad, Af, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Bakal, Lababka, Wabakal, Napashka. Verse 13. La Shamar, Af, Matazawaf, Yahweh, Wa Af, Select it. Kak Fayawa, select it. Kakwaf, Yawa, Ashar, Anakia, Matazawaka, Hayawam, La Tawab, La. Verse 14. Han, La Yahweh, Alahayaka, Hashemayim, Washamaya, Hashemayim, Ha'aratiza, Wakal, Ashar, Ba. Verse 15. Rak, Babathyaka, Kwakwak, Yahweh, La Abba, our thumb, Waya Bakhar, Bazariah, Acharyahum, Bakam, Makal, Ha'anyam, Kayawam, Hazar, and that's it. Okay, let's get that in the English.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 9. Wherefore Levi have no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according to the Lord thy God promised him. Verse 10. And I stayed in the mountain.
One second. what does that mean? I know Azaram already got the answer, but we'll go over again. What does that? Why did he say? What does that mean that the Levites did not have no inheritance? That the Most High was their inheritance? Can somebody explain that for me, please? Kapaya, go ahead. Okay. Yes. Well. Yes. Yes. Priests were part of the Levites. Yes, because all priests are Levites. Not all Levites are priests. But what does that mean that they have no inheritance? What did that mean? Can you explain that? Okay. I'm sure. Did you want to? Okay. They go ahead. There we go. Excellent. That's what they benefited from what the other tribes dedicated to the Most High. They benefit because they didn't really have any land, like a land, so that they could get the crops and the vegetables and the fruits. So they had cities because remember, Levi had to be scattered amongst all the tribes. Why? Somebody explain that for me. Why was Levi the tribe that had to be scattered amongst every tribe? Because amongst every tribe, remember, they had to set aside cities for the Levites. Why? Go ahead. They were the teachers. Excellent. Okay. They didn't have the internet like we had, back, I'll just look this up or go on, and they didn't have we'll just Zoom a class or, we'll stream live class. They had to go to the Levite or the priest and, in the towns. Okay. And they had to go and learn or whatever they had a question or something that they had to actually, you had to physically travel. Okay. So, keep going.
Going on. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 10. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me at the time also. And the Lord would not destroy thee. Verse 11. And the Lord said unto me, arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land, which I swear unto the fathers to give unto them.
Which fathers was he talking about? I know Sister Azar. What fathers is he talking about? I swore to your fathers. What fathers is he talking about? There we go. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are the fathers that he swore unto them. Remember, he gave the covenant, made a covenant with Abraham, and then he said, your seed will be unto Isaac, not Ishmael, and then went from Isaac to Jacob. It did not go to Esau. Okay, and if you notice, there's a pattern here. I always tell people when they're reading the scriptures, look for patterns. You notice that every time a seed was passed on, the Most High separated somebody. They both came from the seed of Abraham, Ishmael and Isaac, but he separated them. Jacob and Esau both came from the seed of Isaac and Israel both came from the seed of Abraham, and he separated them. Then Jacob and Esau both came from the seed of Isaac, but he separated them. Okay, and you notice the Most High is always making a separation. Okay, that's why we was telling the Pharisees and Sadducees. Remember, he said, "You are of your father, the devil." Because some people will think, because the Pharisees and Sadducees felt like because they were Israelites that they were the chosen ones. But Yahweh Shah was rebuking their attitude because he was like, "You are of your father, the devil," because there was a separation. Remember, he said the wheat, the tares will grow together. They look alike, but the Most High always separates them. So, go ahead. Separate. Well, they're in there, and then he said, "Let them grow together." You grow together because they look alike. Okay, so if you look all through, you'll look alike. If you look all through the scriptures, you'll see the Most High is always separating. Okay, you had Korah and Aaron. Okay, remember they were in the same tribe. The Most High had to separate them. So you look for patterns when you're looking at the scripture. And when I mean separate, there's a distinction between the two groups. Okay, and the Most High makes that distinction. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 12. And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thine God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thine God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thine God with all thine heart and with all thine soul. 13. To keep the commandments of the Lord, and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thine good. Verse 14, behold, the heaven and the Salakia, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord's thine God, the earth also with all that therein is. Verse 15, only the Lord had a delight in thine father to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day.
Excellent. All right, we'll go ahead and read. We'll read Deuteronomy chapter 10, 16 through 22. We'll go ahead and read that in the Hebrew, and then we'll go ahead and get that in English. Yeah, I changed it.
Verse 16. Wamalatham af aralaf laba bakam wa I rapakam la the quash wa I wad. Verse 17. Chaya Yahweh alahayakam Hawa alahaya ya her alahayam wa I danya her danyam
You're fine.
her danyam her all her gadol her gabar wahan waha na warrior ashar la'a yasha panyam wala'a yakwak 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 shakad. Verse 18. Aisha shapat yatawam wa ala hay wa ala man mana wa ahab gar lathaf lawyer. I mean lawa. I mean how you pronounce
Lawa. Yeah.
Lawa. Lakam. Wish a mole la'a. Wish a mole la'a. Wish a mala. Verse 19. What a hab thumb af hagar khaya garium khaya thumb but arataza matazarium. Verse 20. Verse 20. Af Yahweh alahayak the Yara'ah afwa. I mean
Yeah.
afwa. Right. The Ibar. I mean the Ibad. Wabawa. The Bakar. The Bak. Like Waba Shamwa. the Shabai, verse 21. The Halatak,
That's a cut here. Halafka.
the Alafka,
Mhm.
Wahawa, Slakia, Waha, the what in the A sound?
Wahawa.
Wahawa,
Mhm.
Alahayak,
Close.
Alahayaka,
Good. Alahayaka. Excellent.
Alahayaka,
Mhm.
Ashar, Aisha, Ayaka,
Mhm.
Haya, I mean, the ka,
Yeah.
Athaka, Af, Hagadalaf,
Mhm.
Wa'af, Hana war, Af, Ha, no war Af, no,
Mhm. Keep going.
come. Ha'ala, Ha'ala, Ha,
You got it.
Alaha, okay,
You're fine.
Ha'ala, Ashar, Ra'awa, Ayan,
Mhm.
Ayanyak, Ayanyaka,
Excellent.
verse 22, Yum, Bayum,
Mhm.
Bashabayim,
Excellent.
Napash, Yaradaiwa, Yaradwa,
Mhm.
Yaka, Bathka, Abathka, Mataga, Matazari,
Mhm.
Matazarium,
Mhm.
Wa'ith, Shemaka, Yahweh, Alahayaka,
Excellent.
Kukawak, Kukawa, Kabya,
Mhm.
Yum, Shamyam, Hashamyam, Labar,
Rob.
Shalaki.
Rob.
Okay, come.
Excellent.
Okay, yeah, Larab. I thought we stopped at
22.
22.
Mhm.
Okay, come.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, now let's go ahead and read that in the English. We're in Deuteronomy 16, Deuteronomy 10, verses 16 through 22 in the English. Verse 16, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. For the Most High, your power is the power of gods and the Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. Why would he say he is the God of gods? How did he prove that to the Israelites that he was the God of gods? Good. When he executed judgment on the gods of Egypt, okay? And he actually made the gods of Egypt look horrible because the gods of Egypt, there were a lot of different animals, and he actually used those animals to what's the word I want to say, to irritate the Egyptians. So it's like he turned their gods against them. That's why he said he's the God of gods. Okay, excellent. The Lord of lords and a great God, mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. Verse 18, he doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and the widow, and loveth the stranger, and giveth him food and raiment. Verse 19, love ye the stranger for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. And when they're talking about, remember, when Israel would go into the land, the Israelites, a lot of us would go into the land of Canaan, and some lived in Jerusalem, but you had people that were in the outside of that area that would come, and you had to know how to treat the stranger that would come outside and sojourn in, because stranger could also mean sojourner. Okay, they would sojourn in, and you had to know how to treat them. Because sometimes it could have been, as even Paul said, could be entertaining angels, like priests. You could be entertaining. You didn't know who you were entertaining. So that's why you had to even treat the stranger. That's why when the Lord came to visit Abraham, he treated him with kindness. Remember, he welcomed him in, told him to sit down. He fed him. That's how you're supposed to be hospitable. Okay, that's what the word hospitality. Verse 20, thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power, thou shalt serve him, and shalt thou cleave and swear by his name. Verse 21, he is thy praise and he is thy power that have done for thee these great and terrible things which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons. What is that number? 70 persons. How many people is that? There we go. 70. Excellent. And notice everybody's getting a quiz today. It's a quiz service today. Okay. And now the Most High thy power hath made thee as the stars of heaven for a multitude. So they went down into Egypt with 70, but then they multiplied. Okay. The seed multiplied, and that's what he promised Abraham. He said, you can count the stars that are the sands of the sea. So those shall thy descendants be. All right. And that's it. All right, let's go to we're in now. Oh, we just read that in English. That was also Quran in Hebrew.
Not opening the door. Somebody
Go ahead. I'll read this in Hebrew. All right, we're now in Deuteronomy chapter 11. We're reading verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew. Then we'll go into the English. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 1. Well, Habath, Av, Yahweh, Allahayaka, wa Shamarath, Mashamaratwa, Waka Quaf, that's like it, Wakwak Thayawa, Wamashapat Yawa, Wamatazawaf Yawa, call, Hayum Yum, slack, verse 2, where you the Daithum, Hayawam, Kaya, La'a, Af, Bunyakam, Ashar, La'a, Yadaiwa, Wa Ashar, La'a, Ra'awa, Af, Mawasar, Yahweh, Allahayakam, Af, Gadalwa, Af, Yadwa, Hakazak, Haz, Wazarai, Wa, Hanat, Wa Ya, Salaki, Hanat, Wa Ya. Verse 3, Wa Af, let's see. Ataf Yawa, Wa'af, Ma Aisha Yawa, Ashar, Aisha, Bathawak, Matazarium, Laparaiha, Malak, Matazarium, Call, Ratazawa, verse 4, Wa Ashar, Asha, Lakayal, Matazarium, Lasa Was Yawa, Walara Kabwa, Ashar, Hatazayat, Af, Maya, Yum, Asawak, Al, Punyahum, Baradpum, Akhar Yakum, Waya Abadam, Yahweh, Aid, Hayawam, Hazah, verse 5, Ashar, Aisha, Lakam, Bama Dabar, Aid, Ba'acham, Aid, Hamakwawam, Hazah, verse 6, Wayashar, Aisha, Ladatan, Wa Aba Yaram, Banya, Allah Ab, Bun, Ra'a Waban, Ashar, Patazatam, Arataza Af, Paya, Watha Bala'aim, Wa'af, Batha Yaham, Wa'af, Alahayaham, Ahol Yaham, Salakit, Wa'af, call, Hayakwam, Ashar, Baragal Yaham, Bakwarab, call, Yasha'ala, verse 7. Kaya, Ayanyakam, Hara'af, Af, call, Ma'aisha, Yahweh, Hagadol, Ashar, Aisha, and that's it. All right, we're going to go ahead and read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, 1 through 7 in the English.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 1. Therefore, thou shalt love the Lord thine God and keep his charge and his statutes and his judgments and his commandments always. Verse 2. And know ye this day For I speak not with your children, which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisements of the Lord or God, his greatness, his mighty hand, his stretched out arm. Verse 3, in his miracles and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. Verse 4, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord have destroyed them unto this day.
Stop right there. I have a question to ask people. This is, to me, would be common sense, but why would Pharaoh pursue the Egyptians after the Egyptians saw all what the Most High did to them in Egypt? Why would he still, well, I'm not saying Pharaoh, why would the Pharaoh pursue the Israelites? What would cause him to pursue the Israelites after, I mean, they all that would happen to them, they saw all that in Egypt, their firstborn was struck down. What would cause Pharaoh, after seeing all that, to do that? Go ahead, Kapaya. Okay, that's a good one. Okay. But what I mean, but why would he do that? Okay, I'm okay, and I don't disagree with that. But you also got to remember, the Lord hardened his heart. The Lord hardened his heart. Remember, there's a scripture that says, "Who can resist the Lord's will? He makes some vessels for destruction and some for honor." That was Pharaoh's purpose, was for the Most High to show who he was. The Lord hardened his. Remember, the Lord will harden certain nations' hearts so that he can destroy them. That's what he did to the Amorite kings. He told Israel, "Don't fear, I'm going to harden them hearts so they come out against you, so that you can destroy them." Okay, that was the Lord's will, that the Egyptian be destroyed. And that's what Pharaoh's purpose was. It wasn't to be this mighty king. It was to show at the particular time who the true God was. Because remember, the Egyptians looked at Pharaoh as God. This is God on earth. You couldn't even look Pharaoh in the eye. You know, this is God on earth. But he had to show that Pharaoh was not God. Okay, and that was his purpose. Was I reading?
I was reading.
Okay.
The English.
Okay.
Verse 5, and what he did unto you in the wilderness until ye came into his place. Verse 6, and what he did unto
Dathan.
Okay, Dathan, and Abiram, the son of Elihab, the son of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession, in the midst of all Israel.
Now remember, Dathan, Abiram, and who was the third person that rebelled? There was a third person. They didn't mention him here. There was three that rebelled against Moses and Aaron. It was Korah. Okay, and Korah was a Levite. But remember, the Levites, Korah was in a division of the Levites that were not priests. And remember, they wanted the priesthood. Remember, that's why they had to put the rods there to show that Aaron's rod budded, to show that the Lord chose Aaron's household to be the priests. Okay, because remember, Korah came and said, "You take too much on yourself." They wanted the priesthood. Okay, they didn't want what the Lord showed. Remember, the Lord had already separated Levites to assist the priests. Okay, but the Korah, them being Levites, they didn't like that. But Korah's sons did not rebel. They did not follow Korah. They were smart. They said, we ain't going after that. They knew better. Okay, but Korah, Abiram, and Dathan were the ones that rebelled. Go ahead.
Verse 7, but your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord, which he did. That's it.
Excellent. All right. We're going to go ahead and read. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 11. We're going to be reading verses 8 through 14 in the Hebrew.
Come on. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 8. Washamarathim. Washamarathum.
Shalom.
Kol. Humataza wa. Ashar, Anakaya,
Nakia.
Anakia,
Con.
Mataza Wak, Mataza Waka,
Excellent.
Hayawam, Lama Ain. Shalom, go and crash. The Taza, the Zakwa, what?
That's a captain's name in our school. Captain of DC. That's his name. Captain Kazak.
Right here.
Yeah, the Kazakwa.
The Kazak, what?
Means like be strong.
What about Itam? Where your rush? Where your rush? Thumb?
Con.
Off. Aratiza. Ashar. A thumb. Yum. Barium. Ibarium. Shama'a. Lama Salaki. Larash. The. Verse 9. Wala ma'ain. Ain.
You phone?
The araya kawa. Yum. Ow. Adama. Ashar. Nashabai. Yahweh. La abath yakam. Latath. Lahum. Wala zari. Wala zarayim. Aratiza. Sabath. Kalab. With the Bash, verse 10. Chaya.
We're in Deuteronomy 11. Deuteronomy 11, verse 10.
Verse 10.
Deuteronomy 11, verse 10.
Chaya. Ha'aratiza. Ashar. Atha. Ba'ai. Salakia. Ba'a.
Con.
Okay. Shema'a. Larash. Larashta. Or Larashta. Larashta. La'a. Ka'aratiza. Young. Cesarian. Matazarian. Hawa'a. Ashar. Yataza Atham.
Good.
Masham. Ashar. The Zaria.
The Zerai.
The Zariah. Ath. Zariah. Ra'ika.
Good.
What has Shaki Yaf?
Good.
Babagalak. Babalaka.
There we go. Cause at the end. Baragalka.
Okay. Baragolka. Kagun. Hayakara. Verse 11. Waharataza. Ashar. Atham. Abarayim.
Barium.
Salakia. Abarium. Shema'a. Larashta. Aratiza. Harayim. Waba Kwaith.
Good.
Lamatar. Yum. Shum yum. Hasham yum.
Hashemayim.
Hashemayim.
No, you 12.
The Shafya. The Shaf.
The Shatha.
The Shatha.
Mhm.
Mayum.
Good.
Verse 12. Aratazah. Ashar. Yahweh. Alayak. Alayaka. Alahayaka.
Good.
Salakia.
You're good. 12.
Darash. Atha. That's
Mhm.
Atha.
That's
Atha.
Mm-hmm.
The Mayad.
Mm-hmm.
Ayanaya.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Alahayaka. Kaha. Masha. All right. Marashyaf.
Excellent.
Hashana.
Good.
Wa'id. Akaryaf.
Mm-hmm.
Shana.
Good.
Verse 13. Lahaya. Oh. Wahaya.
You're fine. Mm-hmm.
Ain. Shemai. The Shemai wa.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. Matazawafya. Matazawafya. Matazawa. What?
It'd be, in this case, be Matazawa Thaya.
Matazawa.
Mm-hmm. Thaya.
Okay. Thaya.
Mm-hmm.
Aishar. You said this was Anakaya.
Nakia, because he's saying I.
Anakia.
That's right.
Anakia.
Mm-hmm.
Come. Matazawa.
Mm-hmm.
Athakam. Hayawam. Wa'ahaya. Wa'ahai. Slaki. Wa'aha. Wa'ahabah. Wa'ahabab. Wa'ahabah.
Mm-hmm.
Slaki.
You 12.
La'ahawa. No, that was a la. La'a.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Habaha. La'a habaha. Ath. Yahweh. Yakam. Alahayakam.
Excellent.
Wala abadwa. Bakol. Lababakam. Wabakol. Napashkam.
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. Wanathya.
In this case, it would be Wanath Thaya.
Wanathya.
Mm-hmm.
Matar.
Mm-hmm.
Aratazakam.
Mm-hmm.
Ba'aithwa. Your war. You pronounce the H at the end?
Well, connected with the Ra and the Ha.
Ra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Ra.
Yarawa.
Mm-hmm.
Wamalak wash. Wamalak wash.
Mm-hmm. Good.
What sapath.
Excellent.
Daga nak. Daga naka.
The Gunka. This is from a corn.
The gunka. All right. What the rash?
Yes.
What the rashka?
Good.
What your taza? What your taza? Harak. I mean haraka.
It says a Harka. Mm-hmm.
Harkam.
Ka.
verse 15.
Oh, that's it.
Come on.
Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and get that in the English. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 11, Salakia, 8 through 14 in the English. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 8. Therefore shall you keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that you be me strong and go in and possess the land, whether you go to possess it. Verse 9, that you may prolong your days in the land, which the Most High swore unto your fathers to give them and to their seed, and a land that floweth with milk and honey. Verse 10, for the land whither thou goest in to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, whence you came out of, where thou sowest thy seed and waters it with thy foot as a garden of herbs. Verse 11, but the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, a land which the Most High thy power careth for. The eyes of the Most High thy God are always upon it from the beginning of the year, even unto the end of the year. This is why you cannot remain in the land if you are sinning. Now, we're not saying the Most High doesn't have his eyes on all the earth, but that land is important because he swore, he gave it to Abraham. That even goes all the way back to the garden. That land, that part of the earth has always been important. He says his eyes are on it from the beginning of the year to the end. And that's why if you sin, what did he say the land would do? It would vomit you out. That's why the other nations couldn't remain in that land. That's why the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, because they were not, they were not doing the laws that were supposed to be kept in that land. And he said that, he said the sins of the Amorites have come up before me. You had to put them out. Okay, and it's the same thing. Okay, that's why when other nations are in that land, it's going to vomit them out. They're like the second with the Pride Month. I think they're number 2 or number 1. Number 1, we're doing Pride. That land, they're going to be vomited out because you cannot remain in that land with those certain sins. All right, with those certain actions. Verse 13. And it shall come to pass if you shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Most High your power and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 14, that I will give you the rain of your land in its due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thy oil. And the Most High keeps emphasizing to keep this covenant because the Israelites did what with the covenant? They did what? They broke it, but why would he keep emphasizing this? What did the Israelites do when he told them the covenant? They said what? We will do it. They agreed. Okay, it's like a contract. They said, when people take you to court, they'll say, you signed this. Okay.
Go.
Okay. They'll be like, you signed this contract. This is what you agreed with. Okay. Well, or like we said last week or a couple weeks ago, when you said something anciently, that was like your signature. That's what they say. Word is bond. That's where it comes from. Nowadays, politics and the heathen will say, I didn't say that. Don't say it in a certain way that you can never catch them in a loophole. I never said that. They always find. But anciently, you said something. That's why when Esau came and said, I want the blessing, what did Isaac say? I already gave it to your brother. I already said it. Okay, and that's why even the Most High said, my words don't come back to me void. He said it. It's going to happen. So the Israelites agreed to this. That's why he says, okay, you agree. Everything you say, we will do. Okay, and he was telling them, when you go in there, keep your end of the covenant, and you will live. All right. I think that's and that's it. No, did I read verse 14? Let me just read verse 14 just in case. Verse 14, that I will give you the rain of your land in its due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thy oil. Excellent. All right, we're going to go ahead and text that to Officer Matazaba because I don't think. Officer Matazaba, you have Officer Matazaba. No. Officer Karad's is going to send you something in text. All right, let's go ahead and continue reading. We are now in Deuteronomy chapter 11. And we're going to be reading verses 15 through 21 in the Hebrew. Oh, I got a quick question. I always got to ask questions. We don't want the Sabbath to just be these people just sitting there. When he was talking about the covenant, what were the first words of the covenant that the Most High spoke to Israel? What were the first words? Remember, he spoke. The Most High did speak to Israel, and they were like, "Oh, I don't want you to speak again." What were the first words? Remember, because when you're making a covenant, really, the ruler is supposed to say the covenant, you know. But when they heard the Most High speak, they were like, "No, talk to Moses," because really, when you're making an agreement with somebody, both parties have to speak. So he spoke. What were the first words that he spoke in the contract of the covenant to Israel? Go ahead.
Did he say that I am the Lord?
There you go. There you go. Right. He started speaking the 10 words or the 10 commandments. I am the Most High that brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. He's saying the terms. I'm the one that did it. Okay. I'm the one. There's no other. That's why he said you shall have no other, because I'm the one who brought you out. Okay. No other gods did that. The gods of Egypt didn't save you. The gods of the Amorite didn't bring you out. I'm the one who brought you out. I bought you pretty much. Okay. I bought you. Okay. That price, the lamb's blood and all that. I bought you. That's why he said you shall have no other gods before me, because I'm the one who did it. Okay. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and get to, we're in Deuteronomy chapter 11. We're going to read 15 through 21 in the Hebrew. I'll take this one off screen. Verse 15. وَنَفْثَيَا أَيْشَابْ بَشَادْكَ لَأَهَمَثْكَ وَأَكَلَثْ وَشَبَعَيْث. Verse 16. Ha'ashamar lakam pan yapatha lababkam wasaratham wa I badtham alahayam acharyam wahashabak waya thumb laham. Verse 17. Wakara Yahweh bakam wa Ishtazar Ath Hashemayah Wala'a Yahaya Matar Waha Adama La'a Thathan Ath Yaba Wala La Wa'aba Datham Wa'abadtham Slakin Mahara Ma'al Ha'arataza Hatabab Ashar Yahweh Nathan Lakam. Verse 18. Washamtam. What are we going to? 21.
Come.
Washamtam Dabarya Allah al lababkam wa al napashkam wakwa shartham atham la awath al yadkam wahayawa lata watapath bayan ayanyakam. Verse 19. Lamadtham atham ath bunyakam la dabar bum Basha Bathka, Bathayafka, Babayafka, it's like it. Wabalakafka, Badarak, Wabashabakabka, Wabakwawamka. Verse 20. Wakathabtham, Al, Mazarwazawath, Bayafka, Wabasharyakam. Verse 21. Lama'ain, Yarabwa, Yumyakam, Wayayumya, Bunyakam, Al, Ha'adama, Ashar, Nashabai, Yahawa, La'abathyakam, Laftath, Laham, Kayumya, Hashamayim, Al, Ha'arataza. And that's it. Okay, let's go ahead and read. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Leviticus today, but we're in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 11, let's read 15 through 21 in the English.
Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 15. And I will send grass in thine field for thine cattle, that thou mayest eat and be filled. Verse 16. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. Verse 17. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heavens, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Verse 18, therefore shall ye lay up these words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes.
And this goes back to the laws should be on your heart and on your mind. The frontlets between your eyes should be on your mind. You're meditating on the law, okay? And on your hand, your actions, you know, because your thoughts turn into your actions, the law. And that's why the renewed covenant in Jeremiah 31 was what? I will put my laws in their hearts and on their minds. Okay, this was really part of what the Most High was saying in the beginning. The Israel felt, you know, what we felt like, okay, well, I'll go and make these sacrifices. I'll do, if I sin, I'll just, you know, give 30, 40 lambs and that will make up for everything. But the law was not on some of our hearts and our minds. So he said the circumcise of your heart should be on your hearts and minds. That's why the law should be there. Keep going.
Verse 19, ye shall teach your children, speaking of them, that when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Okay, the children should know the law. Okay, so you should be teaching your child the law from the beginning. Okay, as you're, you know, as a teacher, you know, you teach children, you know, don't do this, don't do that, don't, you know, or, you know, I learned that, you know, it's better to just tell children what you want them to do instead of saying, don't do this. I'd like you to sit down. I learned that as a teacher trick. I'd like you to pick up the cup like this instead of saying, don't pick up the cup like this. It's easier if you say, I'd like you to do this. And showing them. I learned that in the child concern from Ms. Sharon. But when you teach these laws, you know, you teach them, you know, this is what you need to do. This is the way. Okay. There's a scripture, I think in Isaiah, this is the way, walk ye in it. Okay. So you teach them how the statutes, the laws, they should know it as they're getting older, as they're growing older. Keep going.
Verse 20, and thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thy house and upon thy gates. That's it. Oh, it's like one more. Mm-hmm. Verse 21, that your days may be multiplied, and that the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them as the days of the heaven upon the earth.
Excellent. All right, now we're going to go ahead and read. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 11, and we're reading verses 22 through 28. We're going to read that in the Hebrew first, and then we'll get it in the English. Whenever you're ready, Officer Farah.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 22. Chaya, Ein, Shamar, the Shamarwan, Kol, Matazawa, Hazaath, Ashar. You said that was, hold on. You said that was. I forgot.
Anakia.
Yeah, Anakia. I had Anakia. Matazawa. Athakam. La'ai Shatha.
Excellent. Good.
La'ahaba.
Yes, there you go. Wow.
Yahweh. Alahayakam. Lalakaf. Bakol. Darakaya. Kayawa. Darakiawa. Wala the bath. Wala the back. Wala the back. Huh? The baka.
Qua.
But what? Verse 23. Wahawar Yash. Yahweh. Af. Kol. Yum. Hagawarium. Hagawarium. Salakia. Hagolium.
A goyim.
Hagorium.
That's nations. Good.
Okay. Ha'ala. Malapanyakam. Waya rasha waya rashtam.
Excellent.
Gorium.
Goyim. Good. That's
Um,
nations. Good.
Yum. Dolium. Gadolium. Wa'ai tazam yum.
Excellent.
Wa'ai tazam yum.
Excellent.
Makam. Verse 24. Kol. Pamaquawam. Ashar. The Darak.
Good.
That's a P, right?
Come.
Cop. That's cop. Come on. Ragalakam. Ragalkam. It's a lot.
Feet. Good.
Bawa. Lakam. Yahaya. Yahayaha. Yahaya.
Yahaya. You good. You're fine. Yahaya.
What is it, sir?
Yahaya. You're fine.
Oh, that's Yahaya.
Yahaya.
Yahaya. Man. Hama Dabar.
Good.
Wahala Banwan. Man. Panahar. Nahar. Parath. Wa'ai. Hayam. Akari Wan. Akari Wan. Yahaya. Gabol come.
Excellent.
Verse 25. Al. Tazab. 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 Or Yathaya Tazab.
Yesaya. Tazab.
Yathayap Tazab. Ayash. Yakam. Bapanyakam. Pakad. Pakadkam. Wama war. Akam. Wathan. Yahweh. Alahayakam. Al. Panya. Kol. Ha'aratazah. Ashar. The Dar Kawa. The Darak. What? Baha. Ka'ashar. The Bar. Lakam. Verse 26. Ra'ah. Oh man. Getting this every time. Anakia.
Good.
Nathan. Lapanya come. Hayawam. Baraka. Wakwo Laha. Wakwo La.
Good.
Verse 27. Habaraka. Ashar. The Shemaiwa. Al. Matazawa. Yahweh. Alahayakam. Ashar. Anakia. Matazawa. Athkam. Hayawam. Verse 28. Wahakwa Wahakwala.
Mhm.
Af. Al. Af. Slack it. Ain. La'a. The Shamaiwa. Al. Matazawath. Yahweh. Alahayakam. What's a Ratham? Man. Hadarak.
Mhm.
Ashar. Anayaka. That it?
Nakia.
Anakia.
Mhm.
Okay. Matazawa.
Mhm.
Athakam. Athkam. Hayawam. Lalakam. Akaria. Alahayam. Akarium. Ashar. La'a. The Yadayatham.
Mhm. Excellent.
And that's it.
Good job. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and read Deuteronomy chapter 11, 22 to 28 in the English. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 22. For if you shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Most High, your power, to walk in all his ways and to cleave unto them, verse 23, then will the Most High drive out all these nations from before you, and you shall possess the greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Question. I was going to ask a question. If I give eye contact, I want you to raise your hand to people, no. How many nations were they to drive out? How many nations? You can give about an estimate about how many. Well, how many nations were the Most High asking them to drive out when they came in there? It's like his arm is like. We'll just take a stab at it. 2. You don't have to name the exact nations, just how many, just a number. Like how many nations were they to drive out? 5? Okay, you're close. Go ahead. I can't tell okay, 7. That is correct. It was 7 nations that they were to drive out. Those 7 nations came from Ham. Okay, those 7 Hamite nations they were to drive out. Okay, excellent. Who was reading? Was I reading?
No, I was reading.
Okay, go ahead. Slack.
No. Oh, you was reading the English.
Okay, yeah. Then verse 23. Then will drive the Most High drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess the greater nation, possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Verse 24. Every place whereon thy soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness and Lebanon, and from the river Euphrates, even unto the utmost sea shall your coast be. Verse 25. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Most High your power shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. Verse 26, behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Okay, verse 27, a blessing if you obey the commandments of the Most High, your power, which I command you this day. Verse 28, a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Most High, your power, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. And the reason why that's is stated is because when you entered into a covenant, remember, you were supposed to say both the blessings and the curses, okay? You were supposed to say them both. It's just like in a contract. When you go and sign that contract for your house or your apartment, you got to follow certain rules. If you do not, you're not abiding by the contract. You have to, you have to leave. It's the same thing. That's what the blessings and the curses were for. And the priest, or the king or whoever, when they would go and enter into a covenant, he would state the blessings and the curses. He would say both of them. And then after that, everybody had to say, we agree. That was your signature. Everything your Lord said, we will do. Or later in time, they would have signet rings. Okay, they would put their rings on. That was like your family. That's where the word signature comes from, a signet ring. You had your family, symbol on there. You put your stamp on it, okay, of the contract. Okay, that was your signature. All right, let me keep going. That's it. Actually, that's it. Yep, great to 28. We're gonna call Mathis up here to do the last some English, if you don't mind helping them. All right, this is just for the people up here. We have one more to read, but Imani, we just have one more. Trooper Natazab, present thyself in thy registry. Baba Kusha. Right there. Right there. I'm Trooper Natazab. Wait a minute. Trooper Natazab, Banya Hawada, Banya Strala. Yahweh Ba Shem Yahweh Shab Rakatha. Don't stand just here. You shot him, which means to be seated. Give me some depth. All right. We're going to go ahead and read. I'm going to read in the Hebrew. We're in the last, this is our last reading for today. I'm going to go ahead and read. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 11, 29 through 32 in the Hebrew, and then we're going to 12, 1 through 3 in the Hebrew as well. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 29. Yahaya, Kaya, Yaba Ya'aka, Yahawa, Alahayaka, Al, Haratas Ashar, Ata, Ba'a, Shema, Larashata, Wana Tha, Af, Habaraka, Al, Har, Garazium, Wa'av, Hakwalala, Al, Har, Yabal, verse 30. Hala'ah, Hamam, Ba'aibar, Hayaradan, Acharya, Darak, Maba'awam, Hashamash, Ba'arataza, Hakana'anya, Hayashab, Ba'iraba, Mawal, Hagolgal, Tazal, Alawanya, Marab, verse 31. Kaya Atam, Ibarium, Af, Hayaradan, Laba'am, Rashath, Av, Harataza, Ashar, Yahweh, Allahayakam, Nathan, Lakam, Wayarashtam, Atha, Wayashabtam, Ba, verse 32. Wayashamartham, La'isha Wath, Av, call, Ha Quakyam, Wa'af, Hamashapatyam, Ashar, Anakia, Nathan, Lapunyakam, Hayawam. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Allah, Ha Quakyam, Hamashapatyam, Ashar, the Shamarwan, La'isha Wath, Ba'aratazar, Ashar, Nathan, Yahweh, Alahaya. Let's see. Abath Yakab, Lakab, Larashata, call, Hayum, Ashar, Atham, Kayayum, Al, Adama. Verse 2. Abad, for Abad 1. Af, Kol, Hamakwa, Wamath, Ashar, Ibadwa, Sham, Hagoyam, Ashar, Atham, Yerashiam, Atham, Af, Alahayo Yaham. Al, Hahariam, Haramyam, Wa'al, Hagabaywath, with a kaf call, Aitaza, Ra'ainan. Verse 3. Wana Thatazatham, Af, Mazabachtham, Washabartham, Af, Matazabtham, Wa'asharyaham, Tashar per one, Tasharap one, Pa'ash, Wapasayalya, Alahayaham, Thagadai one, Abadatham, Af, Shamam, Man, Hamakwawam, Hahawa'a. And that's it. Officer, let him try to read and then you'll repeat what he reads.
And shall it
We're in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 29. Those are following along. So I can also. Yes. Yes. Yeah, let him read it and then you can repeat it.
shall it to pass then were the night brought thee into the land, whatever be thou to possess. Know the word. Yes, you shall be put the best on the Mount. Come on. There, yeah. The thing you curse on the now. That's 30.
You read verse 20. Go ahead and read verse 29 after he.
Read verse 29. Verse 29, it shall come to pass when the Lord thy God have brought thee into the land, whether thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Ebal. Verse 30.
That the like way the while the sun goeth the and the night also the land Canaanites.
Good.
Canaanites.
Good.
Which dwell in the campaign ever lands, and the land that lands is the Moran.
No. Verse 30. Are they not on the other side of Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the campaign over against Gilgad, beside the plains of Moreh? Verse 31.
for the shall the pass over the Jordan.
Good.
Oh, but and he possessed the land
Good.
which the Lord your God free God picketh thee.
Good.
The sin possessed and the when and she deserved
it.
it.
Good. That's right.
Verse 31. For ye shall pass over Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein.
All the statutes of the judgments that the I should be before this day.
Right. Verse 32. And ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day.
And these are the statutes
Good.
that the judgments which shall deserve the land and the land which that the Lord has the fathers given the possess the all the days were that the land on the shall utter.
Okay. That's a lot, yeah. Verse Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 1. These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land, which the Lord thy God of thine fathers giveth thee to possess it, all the days that ye live upon the earth. So you can go ahead now, sir.
Deserve the land, God, and the the hills and the honor and the grieve in the land that the and she
Okay.
so the girls.
All right, I'm about to do this. Salaki. Verse 2. Ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree.
Slack it for 1 second. So you always knew when a righteous king came along in Israel. Well, when Israel and Judah split up, there was really no righteous kings in Israel. There was most of them in Judah, because they always got rid of the high places. Okay, they actually followed this command. You shall utterly destroy all the high places. When a not so righteous king came, they left the people in the high places up. So you got to remember, the only place that you were supposed to serve the Most High was in Jerusalem. And you were supposed to bring your sacrifices to that altar. But what were other people doing? They were bringing their stuff to high places all around where they wanted to. In all places where they wanted to. And of course, their God was right there. They crafted it, they made it, and then they served it. And that was not supposed to happen. Okay. And then what Israel did, another thing is, they actually forgot the priests and the Levites. They made themselves. I think it was Jeroboam. Maybe it was Jeroboam. They started making priests themselves. Okay, it wasn't from the Levites. It was anybody who wanted to be a priest. It's like, does anybody say you want to be a priest? Get the call. Okay, and that's what it was. It was an abomination. Okay, what were you saying? Shalom, you had a question? Khan, they did. They got because the reason that was connected is because after they made a sacrifice to their god, they would have their orgies. It'd be men and women, or you had the temple prostitutes there, and you had the young male prostitutes there. Okay, and that's where the sodomites and all of that came into play, because that was to honor that was kind of the honor their false gods. Okay, and that's why he said to get rid of and that's what Israel started copying off with the Midianites when they were dealing with the Midianites. Okay, and that's why he destroyed what's the name Balaam. Okay, because Balaam and the children of Israel to do those type of practices when they were dealing with the Midianites. Okay, they started sleeping with the temple women. Okay, because as they were sacrificing. There's a movie, I know you've seen this one, movie 300, that can give you an idea of what they did. I don't know if y'all remember before the Spartans went out and fought. Remember, they went to go talk to the oracle, and you saw how the so-called the false prophets were up there with that female oracle. You could kind of get an idea what they were doing with the women prostitutes. That's where you get the goddesses and all that. Okay, so a lot of that pagan just was not supposed to spill over into Israel. Go ahead. I think you got one more not stuff.
Yes, sure. So
Good.
That Walters and the break at the fellows were in the fight there drove to the fire and the Shelby roll the driven images on the destroyed the land, the pace and the place.
Good. Good night, sir.
Verse 3. And ye shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their grooves with fire. And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy the name of them out of that place. And that's it.
It's like I didn't do anything. We just jumped right into it. Okay. Okay. All right. Excellent. That's really cool. Excellent. All right. Just the people up here. I'm not which means to stand. I'll circle right that one. Face me up. This one. Absolutely the same. It all the way up. Say La Yasha Allah.
Yeshua.
Lenford. I'm gonna hold the Torah. I'll get and that wasn't the wine. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Not in Shabbat. I'll screw out Shabbat. 1 second. Watch what he does. Not in Shabbat. Watch what he does. Watch what he does. Watch what he does. Hold your hands out like this behind your back. Behind your back. Hold your hands legs out like this. Good. Yahweh,
Wow.
Bahashem,
By Hashem.
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua.
Barak,
What?
Yah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barak. Yeah.
It's like Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barak. Yeah. Also, Quran. You tell me which school you want. Okay. Go ahead and blow the horn. It's okay if you do one. Okay. I'm fixing. Also, Quran's on you. We're going to do just the Lord's Prayer. Do the child. That's right.
It goes for everybody. Amadi Wapinya Hakwajam, which means rise and face the east. East is behind us.
Turn around this way. He says. Yeah.
This is the Lord's Prayer, first in the Hebrew, then in the English. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Sabath Shemani.
Sabath Shemani.
Badah.
Badah.
Ayah.
Ayah. Simka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Lakwaka.
Lakwaka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Retazayah.
Retazayah.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Aratazah.
Kawa.
Kawa. Ayah.
Ayah.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Nathanalau.
Nathanalau.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Paul.
Paul.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaknau.
Wasalaknau.
Waknau.
Kawaknau.
Salaknau.
Kasalaknau.
Wakyanau.
Kawaknau.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Ba'ayinau.
Yai.
Vanasayawam.
Vanasayawam.
Ball.
Ball.
Kapashayinau.
Kapashayinau.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rye.
Rye.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Lakab.
Lakab.
Malakwa.
Malakwa.
Waha'alah.
Waha'alah.
Waha'alah. Salakia. Wahadapa'arah.
Mahakapa'arah.
La'awalamya.
La'awalamya.
Aman.
Aman. Then the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Give us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
And we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not.
Lead us not
to temptation. But
but
deliver us from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom
And the power.
and the power
And the glory.
and the glory
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Saw, which means to turn. Let's go. Make sure I do this right. This concludes the service.
Sisters,
Oh, wait, slide. First.
sisters, shop. Men of Israel, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Saw, which means turn. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Barakatah,
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yayamatat, Saw, which means turn. Sisters, Amadim. Men of Israel, going to give the sisters one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alatam Ba'ashem Yahshua.
Yayamatat, class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do. They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're